Well, good afternoon. This is Meteorologist Aaron Colby. Let's take a look at some of the things that we are looking at out there right now. It's been a very rainy day so far, especially for our coastal areas. And, well, we're expecting a lot more rain over the next day or two. So let's take a look at what this looks like. First of all, let's start off with a couple of the alerts that are still in effect as of right now. We are looking at a coastal flood alert. This is for southern Hancock County. This is because of the strong winds coming out of the east. We could continue to see higher than normal tides over the next 24 hours as that rough water and some of the heavy winds pushing that tide just a little bit higher than normal. Now, there is also the flood watch. This continues through Saturday morning, and this is going to be because of this continuous periodic heavy rain that continues to move onshore. This is for our southern three counties. This is going to be for Hancock, Harrison, and Jackson County. Now, here's what things do look like out there at the moment. We are still seeing very heavy rainfall move into portions of Hancock and Harrison County, beginning to make it all the way up into Pearl River County as of about just a little after 2 o'clock, and we are still beginning to see some of those heavier bands approaching the area. We will continue to periodically see some of these heavier bands move onshore over the next couple of hours. Now, this is all because of this low pressure system that we've been tracking over the past couple of days. The stationary front just to our south, allowing for a lot more rainfall and also supported by that low pressure system. Now, of course, the National Hurricane Center does have this area marked as a low chance of developing over the next 7 days. Now, there is a very low chance of this developing as another cold front pushes it once we get into the weekend. However, even though this is not expected to develop into a tropical system, we could definitely still see a lot of rainfall, especially as we go over these next 24 hours. And you can see here, very heavy rainfall, especially for the immediate coastline. Mainly south of I-10, we could be seeing 3 to 5 inches of rain over the next 5 days. The majority of that will be here within the next 48 hours, so just about the next 2 days is where the majority of this rainfall will be falling because of that low pressure system. Now, you look at just a little bit to the north and you see those inland areas, and it's not going to be nearly as much rain. Now, this is very dependent on exactly how far north the stationary front creeps and exactly where that low pressure system ends up tracking. But overall, our further inland areas are expecting a lot less rain, with about 1 to 2 inches expected. Some areas could get up to about 2.5 if that low pressure system does move just a little bit further north than what is expected. Now, one of the biggest concerns with this system is going to be the flash flooding potential, mainly for Louisiana, parts of New Orleans. Getting continuous rainfall could lead to flash flooding at times. This is also going to be a problem for Hancock County that has seen a lot of rain already today. Now, let's take a look at the futurecast. We do have several more heavy rain bands on the way. Let's go through this afternoon first. You can see a lot of the lighter rain and some of those smaller, heavier bands do make it through over the next couple of hours. Now, tonight we could see the potential for more very heavy rainfall. You can see here, this is 11 o'clock tonight. More of the thunderstorm activity and very heavy rain there in portions of Hancock and Harrison County. This does slowly move towards the east. We do get some of that heavier rain making it further into South Mississippi by about the 4 or 5 a.m. hours. And then 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, very heavy rain still along our coastal communities, slowly making its way further inland. It does break up as it moves inland over time, so you could see inland areas getting periodic heavy rain. Most of the heavy rain and thunderstorm activity will stay near or south of I-10. Now, let's keep on going into tomorrow afternoon, and you can see here a lot of those rain bands do develop offshore. The heaviest rain expected to stay offshore. However, we could continue to see some more of those spotty showers and thunderstorms and periodic heavy rain slowly making its way further inland throughout the day. Let's take a quick look at the weekend. Now, we do have a little bit of a cool down on the way. We do have another cold front approaching the area. Now, this arrives early Sunday morning. This is the forecast for 6 a.m. when the front does reach us at 6 a.m. on Sunday. Now, this cold front will be bringing a lot of cooler and much drier air into the area. It'll also help push that low pressure system a little bit further away from us and also stops it from developing into a tropical system. That's why there is a very low chance of this actually becoming a tropical system. Now, take a look at how this does impact the forecast as this low pressure system moves up into, from the extreme northeast. We could see this cold front dive pretty far south, reaching us by Sunday morning, and then there you can see temperatures in Sunday and Monday morning could dive all the way into the 60s all the way here on the coast. So a little bit of a taste of fall as we go into the late weekend and early next week. Rain chances also take a dip as you go into that same time frame. Sunday, 10% chance of rain, 20% chance of rain on Monday, and then we do begin to slowly work our way back up as we do build a little bit more moisture back into the area. So let's talk about the tropics for a little bit. We did talk about the system there in the Gulf, and there's 4 other systems out there that we're keeping an eye on. All 5 of these disturbances, low chance of developing over the next 7 days. No imminent threats to South Mississippi. However, the only 2 that are notable would be these 2 that have interests in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, this tropical wave moving through the Caribbean, this is the same one that we were tracking last week. It's still there and continues to move a little bit further towards the west. Now beginning to approach portions of Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula. You can see here still very disorganized, lots of thunderstorm activity associated with this. This will continue moving towards the west and a little bit to the north, and will end up in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico or the Bay of Campeche. And this could develop into a tropical system over time. However, the next 7 days, there's a very low chance of that happening. We'll keep an eye on it as it does meander through the southwestern Gulf, but once again, there is no imminent threat to South Mississippi. The other system we've been keeping an eye on is, of course, the low pressure system that is bringing us all of this rain. As we discussed, there is a very low chance of this becoming a tropical system. It has a very tight window in order to actually develop before that cold front arrives on Sunday. However, this is still marked. It is a very low chance of developing, and it will continue to very slowly creep over towards the east. Regardless of if it develops or not, it's going to continue producing a lot of heavy rain. We've seen a lot of rain from this already. There's still another 3 to 5 inches on the way, especially for our immediate coastal areas, mainly near and south of I-10. And of course, we have had a fairly active start to the hurricane season. Earlier, we did have Hurricane Beryl, Debbie, and Ernesto. 3 hurricanes, 2 tropical storms. We're already at the F name at the moment. The next name, Francine, Gordon after that. And as of right now, once again, 5 areas in the Gulf or in the Atlantic, but all 5 with a very low chance of developing into a system over the next 5 days. So let's take a look at the 7-day forecast here in South Mississippi. Very rainy the next 2 days because of that low pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico. The cold front arrives early Sunday morning, brings those rain chances down, and we do continue to see those temperatures go down as well. Sunday and Monday morning, we could see temperatures all the way down in the 60s.